Well, was out driving my perfect Cobra with my twin brother, having a good time, and that's what we do. But man, if you take him out, sometimes stuff happens to him. I heard something. We ran over something in the road, and I was like, that got kicked up. This is what it was, and this is what it did. So this is a really hard video to make. I really debated on if I should make this video or not, but I'm going to tell the truth about this car because it's the history of my car. Nothing will change the history. And when something bad happens to the car, then that's just unfortunate. Of course, it could be worse, but this is really too bad. But it was a beautiful morning, and the car looked fantastic, and I've been itching to drive the car. I want to drive it. It sits under a cover all the time. I barely take it out. I take it out when I feel like I don't drive it enough, and today was one of those days. Picked up my brother and we went to go get a breakfast sandwich and enjoy hanging out together. I decided to put you in the video. Red, orange. Yeah, I parked like a jerk. It's okay. Worth it. Let them think what they want. The heat extractors, the painted mirrors, the Cobra badge and wheel, gauges, Cobra bag, 6-speed shifter knob. It's kind of a cool place to stand right here. Yeah. My brother and I really enjoyed just having the Cobra out. We got to this Wendy's and they were supposed to be open, but they weren't, so we waited and waited and waited, and finally we just went through the drive-thru, but they never opened the lobby, which I feel is another factor that if they would have been there on time, we would have stayed there longer, we would have done different things, we would have eaten there instead of going somewhere else. And so since the lobby wasn't open, we took it to go, and we decided to go drive down to a nice new area here that I like, and we ate there. And so as we were hanging out, eating, looking around, I did notice that the front tire on the car was a little bit low. I had put these wheels on recently, but they are kind of older, and so I decided we need to probably get going, put some air in the tires. But in the meantime, I was admiring these really neat stickers that are survivor stickers on the car. A lot of times these are gone on most of the Mustangs that I've seen. A couple of my Mustangs still have them. So I just really like the neat, low mileage authenticity of this car, all the really cool things it still has on it that have survived. But anyway, we went to leave and we went a different way home than I would have because the tires were low. So I didn't want to take it on the little highway that would have taken us home a different route. And when we got towards where we were going, where this accident occurred, I could have gone one of two ways, and if I went the other way, it would have put me through an industrial area that I had just gone through yesterday in my red Cobra, and that area had tons of, semi-trucks coming onto the road, huge dust clouds. It was like playing dodgeball when I drove my red Cobra through that area because there was just so much going on, too many cars and trucks and stuff. Now it was earlier in the morning, so there wasn't really anything there on a Saturday, but I still decided to go this other way because it should have been a nicer, cleaner, safer way to go. And of course, you can always think a million different things of I shouldn't have taken the car out this day, or I shouldn't have gone that direction, or if we would have just eaten at the restaurant, or if we would have done this or that. A million different scenarios could have changed this, but there's no doubt that it happened and there's nothing you can do to fix it. But this was the perfect storm of scenarios to work out to put me in this exact spot at this exact time. Even the fact that I set an alarm to get up that morning, texted my brother to go out that morning at that certain time, which put us in certain places at certain times. Now also, I'm the type of person that believes maybe if I'd have gone the other way, like on the highway, maybe the tire would have blown out and destroyed the car. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise that this is the outcome. It could have been much worse. Maybe somebody would have T-boned the car in an intersection if we went the other way. You never know. But what I do know is it sucks that this happened, and here's what it is. Well, I was out driving my perfect Cobra with my twin brother, having a good time, and that's what we do. But man, if you take him out, sometimes stuff happens to him. I heard something. We ran over something in the road, and I was like, that got kicked up. This is what it was, and this is what it did. Yep, that's bad. That's all the way through. So, sucks. Right in the middle of the door. But you know what? It's too bad. Can't do anything about it. Here you can see some of the competition orange on that bar. We decided to go back and get it out of the road and see what it was that actually hit my car. As I've thought about this, I think it hurts so much to think that this is the same as somebody basically taking a crowbar, walking up to my perfectly beautiful competition orange Cobra, and just bashing the door with it. Now, very rarely are people actually critical on the channel. I have a lot of great people who follow the channel and watch the videos and are supportive, and so there really aren't a lot of people out there who will hate in the comments and stuff on this. But for those who might say, why didn't you look what was in the road? Why'd you run it over? Why weren't you paying more attention? I do want to make the point clear that as I was driving up to this intersection where it happened, the sun was coming through the windshield and the road was shining with the sun on it in the early morning. It was really difficult to see, and that crowbar, as you can tell, is black and beat up, which blends with the chip seal surface of the road. It looks exactly like the asphalt road with the little rocks everywhere. So it was totally invisible. I did not see it at all, and I don't think I could have.
Let me clean the wound out here.
Yeah, you don't want it to spread, but it's there. I know you can dab some paint in there and wet sand it and make it look really nice again. So maybe one day I'll do that. We'll figure it out. Maybe have a body shop that specializes in it do it.
I'll hand this over to the automotive guys and get that ready. Is there anything else you need?
That's it.
Right.
Will it be yeah, how long will that take to mix up?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not the one who says them. I don't know how much he has on his plate right now, but maybe about like an hour or so.
Okay,
Yeah,
something today we can come in and get in about an hour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
U.S. Army, you can read it. That's pretty cool.
How people usually like drop things out of that.
Like darts?
Like darts and stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, somebody else's irresponsibility cost me some heartache and pain, but that's part of life. You can't drive a car like this down the road and never expect anything to happen to it. I mean, there are a lot of cars that go down the road and they look great with high mileage on them. They tend to be lucky, but every car that goes on the road is subject to some type of rock chip or damage of some kind. It's just what happens when you take it out in the elements. And so every car you look at is going to have something. But anyway, yeah, it's too bad. So I came up with the idea that I want to mask this off and seclude as much of just the scratch as possible and try to just put some color back on it for the meantime. I don't want to repaint this door, and you'll hear me say that a few times here. But I want this car to be as original as possible and to match as perfectly as possible. In the past, I tried to dab in a couple rock chips on the hood with paint and a brush, and it did not come out well, so I wiped it away. But with a little bit of a spray, I think that'll make it really nice.
Got my 11-year-old shaking that can up real good. We're just gonna do a couple light sprays right here just to get some color on that nasty thing. There's no way I'm repainting this door. It would never match. It would never match. I know some people can get close, but I don't want to blend it. None of the rest of this door needs to be touched. I'm keeping this car as original as possible, and I think that's the right way to go about this. I can live with a little scratch, a little touch-up paint. It's such a beautiful car. This has not been easy. Practice shots. Alright, that's what we're gonna do. A little white in there. Don't want to do too much or I'll get it running it. Let's see. There we go, just like that. Just like that. That wound. It's gonna have all the. I could have sanded it, but I don't think I want to go that route. Just like a little touch-up paint, just like that. That's all I gotta do. All right.
I even bought some 3000 grit because I thought about lightly sanding that area, but I just thought this is better. Let's just fill it in like a little bit of touch-up paint. I really didn't want to have any runs, so I put a few light sprays on it and then I let it dry and I went back and there's still a little bit of white showing through, so I went back and did a couple more coats, just real light sprays just to get some color in that. And you know, I totally get that this will never be perfect, and you know, maybe there's people out there who specialize in this kind of stuff. And my friend Patrick had his GT350 filled in with a big scratch that was down the side of it. And there's a guy who did a really good job, and he, blended it and stuff. But I really don't want to touch any more of this door than I have to. And so, in the future, maybe it'll be worth looking into, or, maybe there'll be better technology in the future on how to fix that and, color match it perfect or whatever. But at this point, it's basically gonna be a little bit of a filled in rock chip, and that's how it's turned out now.
Pretty good.
It really just looks like there's a little bit of a blemish there. And I think this was a great way to go about it, where I masked off everything except for just where it needed the color, and that way it looks really good. And there was another little scratch there a little higher up, so I went back and did that as well, and because this turned out very good, so I went ahead and just kind of masked that one off, and I put some color into that as well. So it's looking really, really good, and I'm very happy with the outcome. And so we'll look at it up close here a little bit better.
So now it looks pretty good. Just kind of like a couple little rock chips is more what it looks like if you were to see it. That's an actual rock chip, I believe. Yeah, right below it. Yeah, there it is right there. It's hard to see. Car's never been paint corrected either, so. Anyway, that looks pretty darn good. So if you're looking at the car, yeah, you can tell there was something there, but it's not bright white. It's really not that bad for what it is. So now when I come in the garage and I look over at that door, I can't see it from here. I could see it from here before because it was white. It blends in now, and you have to look for it to be able to see it. It's not perfect, I understand that, but I did not want to repaint the door or get into blending fenders or doing any of that with this original competition orange. It's basically a rock chip at this point. It's a filled in rock chip. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it, which is all that matters because it's my car. And it's not perfect. It's never going to be perfect again. Just like my torch red one. I was driving with the kids the other day and I heard this one hit. And it might be hard to see in the dark here, but there is a rock chip on the door and I heard it hit and it's right in the door. It bugs me. It's nothing like that was, but still, I almost forgot about that one actually until I started thinking about it. So that's just the way it's gonna be. Really, really good out here. You have to really look for it.
So I think that looks pretty good. The car has a couple blemishes on it already. I mean, you can go look around the car and find little things, little chips and problems in the paint from the previous owners. You know, stuff like this is going to happen. It's not perfect. It's not a 400-mile car. It's a 34,000-mile car, you know, so stuff happens to it. Again, it just really, really sucks that it happened to be the one time I take it out. You know, it sits protected all the time under a cover for years and years and years, and then I take it out and it gets that. You know, and I've seen some super low mileage cars that have blemishes to them. Any car out there, you can walk up and you can find something wrong with it, you know. Now, I feel like this is so unjust that this happened to my car the one time I take it out, but I was thinking about this 2000 Cobra R that spent its entire life in a dealership. Its entire life, like no miles on the car. It had like 5 miles or something on it. And it sat here where you think it would be totally protective and nothing could ever happen to it here. But if you know the story about this Cobra R, it was sitting peacefully in the dealership and somebody crashed through the dealership and smashed into it, and it messed it up. Now, it's going to be fixed, but man, that would be so hard to live with that. Now, I was watching a video on YouTube about a Mr. Chrome Terminator Cobra, and a guy had it, and he said this is the second one he had because the first one he had was parked or going down the road, and something happened, and a car had been in an accident, and the car flipped up in the air and landed on top of his Mr. Chrome Terminator. And so I just thought, man, what an awful thing to happen. I mean, there are worse things. I was also thinking about my buddy SVT Cobra Kid and how his Terminator Cobra got sideswiped in a restaurant parking lot when he was just inside for a minute. You know, this kind of stuff happens. I felt really bad for him when this happened, and you know, this is a surprise. He walks out and finds his car like this, you know, so it's terrible. I mean, he was only inside for a few minutes, and I'm sure he's like, man, I shouldn't have parked there, I shouldn't have done this or that, but you know, he took it pretty good. But still, you know, just driving around in my other Mustangs and thinking about it, I'm like, man, I can't believe that actually happened. Like, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Like, I can't believe that. What in the heck? How does that freaking happen? Just like, that is so unjust. Just that one time you take it out. Like, how in the heck did this happen? And so I had my wife come into the garage and look at it, and I said, you know, what do you think? And she looked everywhere for it. She's like, where was it? I can't see it. You know, she didn't get like right up on it, but she walked up to the car as if you're at a car show looking at it, and she's like, I don't see anything, you know. And then my friend, who actually has done a ton of work, and he's done a lot of paint work and stuff too, when I told him what happened, showed him the video, he stepped back and looked at the car, because it was right when I was driving home from taking these videos in the parking lot. He looked at it, he's like, I don't see it, dude. But where was it? You know, and he looked, and I'm like, well, I'd have to point it out to you. So I think it came out pretty good. So the day after this happened, I actually drove to that parking lot. It's the church parking lot I go to, is right where it was actually. And the next morning I was there with the GT, and I looked over, and a street sweeper was actually over there cleaning out that entire intersection. So had that street sweeper come a day earlier, it would have probably knocked that crowbar out of the way and cleaned up the road. So it's like, I can't believe that, you know. And you look at my silver GT that's been in a terrible accident before I bought it, and its door looks perfect, and there's no scratches on that door, and just the irony of things. But anyway, so now it's just back to detailing the car a little bit, cleaning it up, you know, enjoying it and having some fun. And you know, this is always going to be something that's hurtful and sucks, but you know, you can't change the past. there's nothing you can do to change it. So it's unfortunate, but it's just the way it is. So, I enjoyed looking at the car. It's beautiful, and I noticed that the heat extractor was a little bit dirty, had some bugs in it, so I went through and decided to go ahead and clean it up. I took a toothpick too and picked out a bunch of those. And so this is, how I've enjoyed the car for the last several years, just kind of cleaning it up and going through and doing a few things to it just to make it nicer. And when you clean and detail the car, you love it more. You have more experience with it instead of it just sitting under a cover. So anyway, I have Mustangs that have damage to them. I have Mustangs that have things happen. I've been going down the road with my GT and had rock chips and things whack it on the freeway, and it's too bad, and that's just part of life. But you try to be as careful as you can, and you just can't help some things. So anyway, put in the comments what you think, and thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed some entertainment, even though this isn't something to really enjoy. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more Mustang content.